want to yell.
Hi, everybody. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't want to scream like Eileen, and I definitely can't keep up with what you just did. That was great, Eileen. Thank you. I'm not even going to try to match that. There's so many things that I want to say. There are a lot of people I don't know that I've met here for that. Some I haven't even had a chance to meet yet. But I'm so happy you're all out here, and thank you for coming for this wonderful older event, or elderly, I should say. No. Elderly.
Next.
Well, I'm still young, I'm pushing it. The bottom line is, I've known Howie most of my life. We've been really close friends. Probably one of the most fortunate people in the whole world to be able to say, and I know that most people, if they have one really true friend in life, they're very happy. I'm blessed, and I know Howie's blessed as well, because we have many more than just one great, true, close friends in life, and I'm talking lifelong. There are several people sitting at the table with Howie right now that we have both known for more than 45 years of our lives, and probably even more. I don't want to give away my age as well.
Don't do that.
And it's very difficult to express how we all feel about each other, let alone how Howie and I have been together for so many years, and he's been an integral part of my life. I don't know what my life would have been if he wasn't there. We do so much together. I don't go to concerts, I'm sorry, I'm busy working, I don't have time for that, no. But we do a lot of other things, and it's just amazing how the time just flies by. I wanted to just share a couple of quick little stories with you, and I can't get dirty. I apologize, Rebecca. I don't want to say anything above and beyond what I should, so I'm going to keep it simple. Everybody here obviously enjoys singing, and no one enjoys singing more than Howie, except Patrick over there, but Howie loves to sing. And every time I go to see Howie, since we're young, no matter where we had to go, what we had to do, we had to stop what it is that we had to do and sit down in his apartment in front of a reel-to-reel, those big old reel-to-reels, and we had to sing oldies music. I'm talking not sing one or two or three songs. We had to sing the real 500 songs. And wherever it is that we had to go, whatever it is that we had to do, most of the time, after a while we forgot about it, because we ended up singing the night away. And just to give you one quick anecdote, we went into the city, which we used to frequent, and it's very hard to find a spot. But on the way in, we don't think about it because we're singing. We find a spot, we park the car, and what do? We don't leave. Why? Because we are singing. We're singing, and we're singing, and we're singing. Now, we got to the city about 9 o'clock. We found a spot about 9:45. We knew that around 2 or so in the morning we need to head back because we both had to get up the next day. So we finally decided, let's go have some fun. We get out of the car, I look at my watch, it's 1:30 in the morning, let's get back in the car and let's go home. And that was our night. And one quick other anecdote, Howie, when he gets involved in a conversation, he gets so involved in it and so intense that sometimes he forgets or doesn't realize what's happening elsewhere. We pull into an Amoco station to get gas, and he says to the attendant, "Do you sell gas?" Now this guy was shocked. The gas attendant says, "No, we sell bagels." And instead of how he's saying, "Oh, that was pretty funny," he goes, "Huh? What?" He goes, "Can I have Amoco?" He goes, "No, we only sell Shell." Just a quick anecdote. Anyway, that was about it. But I just want to say that I'm so happy and proud to have him in my life, and all of my friends and our friends. And thank you for having us here. Happy 60th, and I hope you enjoy your apartment and get a lifetime of enjoyment, at least another 60 years from that. Right? Thanks.
Thank you very much for our beautiful words. Alrighty, I think Rami, did you want to say a couple of words? Right now, I'm not sure if there's anybody after Rami who wants to speak, but please don't be shy after Rami comes up here. Let us know. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. Made a big list here. First of all, congratulations, Howie and Rebecca, on their apartment. Howie took me there a few times to see how the construction was going on. I gave him all these beautiful ideas, but he never listened to me. He always did something else. And happy birthday, Howie! You know, his 60th birthday. You've aged beautifully. You don't look a day over 70. Howie is one of my oldest and dearest friends. I know Howie for more than 45 years. We own the condo along with Steve in Vermont, so we used to go skiing every year. Every year we used to go skiing until Howie hurt himself. I love him like a brother, and he really thinks I'm his brother. He's always asking me for money. As you all know, Howie's really not the athletic type. You could tell by just looking at him. Okay, and you know, we used to play in a league, in a softball league. It was called the Aces. We were really a bad team, terrible team. Other teams looked forward to playing us every Sunday. When we used to choose up sides, Howie was always the last one to get picked. And he would normally play the same position, left out. But in the league, he played left field. Now, I don't know why they put him in left field. He couldn't hit, he couldn't run, he couldn't throw, but they put him in left field. And I would ask the coach, I said, why are you putting Howie in left field? He says, well, you should see the other guys on the team. Then I realized why Howie was playing left field. I was the shortstop, and Ronnie was the third baseman. And anytime, you know, a ball got by us, we were worried that Howie, you know, would catch the ball. There was this one play, he surprised all of us. The ball was hit to him, and Ronnie and I turn around, and we see Howie running, but it looks like he's running in slow motion. But he's running and running, and we wonder if he's ever going to catch up to the ball. Turns out he made one of these shoestring catches, just like Cleon Jones in the World Series. I mean, it was perfect. It was, you know, something to enjoy. Willie Mays, yes. We all know that Howie loves to ski. He's an expert skier. He's the one that got me into skiing. But he would always tell me that he goes to Italy, he goes to Switzerland, he goes to Colorado, all this place. I said, why don't you go over here? It's closer. He says, no, you don't understand. I go for a week long, and you know, the skiing is secondary. I go for the babes. The babes is what I go for. Now, the way Howie skis, he's an expert skier, and you know, if anybody saw him dance, he looks like a robot with a broken leg. So, in order for him to ski that good, he probably had to learn, he had to probably take lessons day and night. But he's a terrific skier, and I love to watch him ski. He's always leading the pack, and he gets down the hill faster than everybody. So, and Steve's in the back, you know, he brings up the rear, and we're always waiting, you know, he's always waiting for us. But one day we went to Hunter, we were 4 guys, and we went to Hunter, and we get to this part of the mountain that's really tough. And Howie says, I'm going this way, I'm going to the left. I said, Howie, that looks dangerous. I wouldn't go there if I were you. He says, no, I'm going that way. He says, I'll meet you at the bottom. I said, all right, listen, I don't know, it doesn't look too good to me. But he says, no, I'm going that way. So he goes down. He doesn't get down more than maybe 15, 20 feet, and he falls down. And he hurt himself pretty bad. And he didn't get up. So I got worried. Now I have to go down that same trail to see what's going on with him. So I take my time until I get down there. Turns out he hurt his shoulder really bad. We had to get him downstairs to the infirmary at Hunter. And we continued skiing. Then I got hurt. I landed right on my shoulder. I got hurt. And the third guy that was with us, he landed, he fell down, he got hurt. The 3 of us were in the infirmary practically the whole day. Just Steve wasn't with us. Just practically, you know, waiting for the pain to subside so we can go home. In any case, Howie, you know, I love you, and you know, I joke around a lot, but you know, everything I said here is true. And happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much, Ronnie. Beautiful word. Is there anybody else who wants to say a few words about Howard? I guess those are all Howard's friends. All righty. Well, you know, speaking of the man.
I'll go up.
Oh, hey, Patrick, come on up here.
okay, Ronnie, we know you're taller, Ronnie, seriously. Okay, I have nothing prepared, though I just jotted a few quick little notes right here. And and Howie actually asked me not to come up and talk so I don't get him into trouble with any of our stories from way back when. So I promised him I would not. I know. We could have really carried on for a good hour and a half, but we won't. So I do want to say I've known, since we're in contest of ages up here, I've known Howie, I don't know, what do you think, 45, 47 years maybe, 48 years. And there's a couple of peculiarities I'll tell you about Howie, but I will say that we met each other when we were very young. And I spent, the only girlfriend story I will talk about is Howie's the kind of guy that really goes out there on the limb. One of his first girlfriends was actually from a mental institution. Cheryl, am I, that was the name? No. And Sherry, something like that, right? And I remember spending, spending time in his room that night, both of us crying like babies, me because I had to be in his room with him that night while he was crying like a baby. So that's one of our earliest stories. We played ball together. Another story I can tell you about Howie's personality is Howie's got the tickets, I don't know, 100 concerts or better maybe together. Some 30 of them alone was Jethro Tull, Led Zeppelin, you name it. My first concert Howie took me to was the Sly, remember that one? And he set me up, well, he didn't set me up, but we went with a girl that was about 6 inches taller than me, and he told me it'd be all right, and I was actually scared to go, but Howie pulled me through on that one. And I can remember one of the time driving, the other story I'll talk about is one of the time driving to, I think it was Nassau Coliseum, and
George Harrison.
it was George Harrison, was it? Very good. And I had to pee so bad, because when Howie's ready to leave, you have to be ready to leave. He doesn't wait, he doesn't care. And he would not stop the car on the side of the road so I could pee. And it was still a good 40-minute ride. So he told me, pee out the window. So I actually pulled down the window.
No.
Yeah, and I'll start to pee. He pulls over. He says, go ahead. I run into somebody's yard, and it turns out it was their rose bushes, of which they come out with a baseball bat chasing us and get back into the car. And so those are some of the stories that we have.
Patrick, I think you got dementia a little bit. I did let you out. You didn't pee in the grass.
That was a bush. I did say
it
you
wasn't the
were.
window that I rolled over.
But you were talking right. I did explain you did pull over after some pleading and praying.
But the roses died.
The roses. That's possible. That's possible. But,
The first song.
yeah, I think the first song that, because Howie will tell you that I broke his snare drum some 45 years ago. Okay, I played the guitar, he played the snare drum. Ronnie there would do the guitar and the organ. Was it drums or organ, Ronnie? Organ. Okay. And he says I broke the snare drum, and for the last 45 years he's been asking me, because I told him I would replace it that day, the next day. And even today, he actually had the table set to me. I come to his birthday party and actually mentions that I owe him a snare drum some 45 years ago.
It is what it is.
No, it is a Howie. That's what it is a Howie. So I do want to say I love you. We don't talk that often. We talk every few months. We tend to fall right back into the stories of our youth. And, but you know what? He's a great friend. He's the brother I never wanted. And I love you very much, Howie. And to our very first song together, which was House of the Rising Sun.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
You have that on there? Me and Howie do House of the Rising Sun.
Absolutely.
Okay. I love you, Howie. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Howard. Beautiful, beautiful. Is there anybody else who wants to say some words about Howard? Now's your chance. Or else we're going to start playing again. Alrighty. Well, I tell you, as we played, well, everybody can give a warm welcome for our host of the evening, our good friend Howard, everybody. Yeah, thanks for having us, Howard.
Thank you, everybody. Rebecca and I want to thank all of you for coming today and making this a special day. Seeing some of your faces brings back so many good memories. Wow. For the first 30 years of my life, I was known to everyone as Howie.
You still are.
And then from 30 to 60, that started to change to Howard. Just last week, I was on the subway, a crowded subway, and this lady gets up and gives me her seat.
And she was older than you.
I think this is a sign of growing older.
Did you have a cane?
Somebody once said growing older is mandatory. Growing up is optional. 60 years, man. Can you believe it? Wow. 60 years. I've got lots to be grateful for. My lovely soulmate.
All right.
Being in relatively good health.
Yes. Yep.
Entering my 30th year in business. And having friends like you guys. Yes, I got lots to be thankful for, so let me begin by thanking God,
That's right.
my parents, friends who are no longer with us, and all of you. Some of you I have not seen in a long time, and many of you have come from great distances to be here, and I thank you for that. A few months ago, when I entertained the idea of throwing a party, we were thinking of having a small, intimate, 5 to 10 people in our boudoir, and the theme being friends who have played an integral part in our lives. Well, let me tell you, this thing evolved. 5 to 10 quickly became 20, 30, 40, and now this. So we got this room, some food, this great band behind us, and here we are. You were my posse. The boys are back in town. Use any cliche you want, but at one time or another, you were the guys I ran with. You were the crowd I ran with. And for that, I'm very grateful that you are all here. And the road goes on. In finishing, basically, I think I had too much to drink. I don't even know what I'm going to say now.
That's not the liquor, that's aging.
That's aging, yeah.
Who drinks to that?
Let's see here.
Who drinks to that?
Let's drink to that.
Drink to that, yeah.
Drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. I don't remember what else I want to tell you guys, but I know I wanted to say some more.
Closing.
No, really, it's been great seeing all of you.
Thank you.
And let's hope we're together for another 10, 20, 30 years down the road.
All right.
Thank you. Now, before I finish with this, what I'd like to do, and if I remember what I was going to say, I'll say it again. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to take, not often in one's life do we acknowledge that, thank our friends for being who they are. And I'd like to do that right now. So if I can, I'd like to do a brief retrospective, take like 5-10 minutes, and call your names out and thank you personally for being here. And then at the end, those names that I call, if we can all come up and do a group photo right up there. And then the guests of those people who came with the names I called up join us, and we'll do a real big group photo. Is that okay?
Oh, yep.
All right.
Yeah, that's what you were going to
Let
say.
me just scoot over here.
That was that senior moment.
No, there was something else, and I don't remember. So, I'll go on.
What, we're buying breakfast?
You going to sing again?
Okay.
All the names.
Here we go. What I wanted to say, it just hit me. The common denominator here, the common denominator is what binds us together. And to me, it was one of several things. As some of the people who roasted me mentioned earlier, it's one of several things. Either we used to go out to clubs together, sporting events, concerts, music, skiing, or through business. Those were and still are some of my passions. And so, in closing, that's what I wanted to say. But now I'd like to call you up, just say a brief thing about, not call you up, just mention your name. And so, my early friends first. We're going to try to do this in chronological order. My early friends. Well, first of all, let me even do this. There are two people who are very much involved in Rebecca and I being here. And only one of them is here today, so I'm so happy that she is. You know, I know a little bit about real estate, and I know how difficult it could be to buy things. I deal with buyers all the time, sellers. But this person made purchasing this place I have very pleasurable, and I thank her very much for that. Let me just say a hi to Miriam over there. Miriam, thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, this next guy is probably, I know no one longer than him. When I was 5 years old, my parents moved to Borough Park. And I remember going into the building for the first time, and I saw these two kids playing in the backyard with toys. And I said to my mom, "Can I play with them?" And my mom said, "Sure." Well, anyway, one of them is no longer with us. The other one couldn't be here today because his daughter is 12 years old today. I haven't seen him for 45 years, but I believe he's on FaceTime right now. Rebecca, do we have him? You don't have him? Oh, well, I guess that's one that... Hey, you know, the Academy Awards can do FaceTime, so can we. At least try. We were trying to get him on FaceTime. His name is Bobby, but he's not here. So we'll move on to the people who are. Now for the next four people, I'm going to lump them together because they were my next four group that I knew in my teenage, early 20 years. Three of them already have spoken. First one, we lived a block away from each other. And we used to go to each other's houses and be silly, pretend we were singing to a wall. And we used to go out and, you know, just do things teenagers would do. And as my phone is ringing, can you get this? Maybe it's him who's on FaceTime. But in any case, I just want to say, he mentioned we went to the first concert ever, Sly and the Family Stone. He is, you hear this? In a shuffling madness, I'm a locomotive breath. That's my good buddy back there, Patrick. The big Jethro Tull fan you'll ever meet. Next to him, sitting next to him, in reality, is another friend who lived a block away from me when we were a teenager. And we used to call him Marty. He now likes to be called Martin, but I call him Goldberg. In any case, we used to go to clubs, go play paddleball, and do everything. We lost touch, but 8 years ago, he found me, and I'm so thankful he did that. Let me just say a good hello to Martin Goldberg. Thank you. Next guy, let me just move quickly because I don't want to bore too many people. You should be dancing, The next guy was Mr. Cool. You should have seen him work the clubs. While we all struggled meeting girls, not him. He not only met girls, he was with the hottest girl there was. He was always winning dance contests. He was John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. Now, you wouldn't know it by looking at him now.
Where is it?
But in any case, I'm happy to say we still go out, but it's dinner and billiards these days. And he knows who owns the championship today in the billiards. He knows that, who is the current champion in billiards. In any case, he's my confidant, my good friend, and he recently had a birthday as well, Ronnie. Ronnie. This next guy I met through Ronnie. When I think of him, I think of the Beatles. Anyway, he mentioned he's like, I'm a brother to him, he's a brother to me. I know his whole family very well. He was the athlete of the bunch. He actually wanted to play football this morning and not come to the party. That's how much he is the athlete. I'll give you a quick story. That's how much he really is into sports. I always thought he'd turn pro, but in any case, one day playing football with him and his friends, I was on his team, and one day we were kicking off, those of you know football, we were kicking the ball off to the other team. So he instructs me, Howie, I want you to go down the sideline. If your man goes down the sideline, you get him. Don't let him come down your sideline. I said, okay. So the kickoff happened, the guy comes down my sideline, and then he veers to the center. So I veered to the center to try to get him. But the guy cut around and came back on my sideline and scored a touchdown. Well, let me tell you, on the ride home, he chewed my butt off, and I thought it was Vince Lombardi the way he was going off on me. In any case, another close friend, and I'm happy to say he's also a partner in business with me, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Ronnie. All right, moving into the late 70s. School buddies were hard to find, really they were. That's because I cut out of school so much, but seriously speaking, in the later years I went to work, when I got out of school, the first real job I had was working in the controller's office. And although I didn't know him very well there, I got to know him very well recently. In the last many years, he's worked in my office as an accountant during tax seasons. And he's one of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. I'm so happy he's here with his wife, Dave Scaffer. Dave. Okay. Let's see. The next buddy I'm about to introduce me to Dave. He worked in the controller's office like I did. We did everything we did everything. Gone skiing, concerts, traveled, you name it, we did it. We were brothers in arms to a degree. We would go all over. He answers to a lot of nicknames. He's been known to be called the Osh, Shizer, Trafe, Chavatsky,
Backdoor man.
Backdoor man. Excuse me. And also, he claims to have a birthday on the same day as my birthday. No. Although, like Obama, he's never been able to produce a birth certificate. And to our best research, we found out that he was born in Transylvania in 1939. So, let me introduce the mess himself, Steve Messing. In the 80s, as you may know, I've always been attracted to bands that emphasize guitar. Santana, Allman Brothers, Clapton, to mention a few. In the 80s, I met this young lady who lived in Bay Ridge as I did, and she loved Santana as much as I did. And we used to go to all the shows. We actually went to Hartford, Connecticut for Santana's 50th birthday bash. Okay, and I'm so happy she's here with us tonight. My good friend Carmen. Carmen. Has a very talented family. I got to meet everyone in her family, talented musicians, and one of them is here today. But before I mention, we were jogging partners. When we see each other, we think back, and we used to, every morning, I used to pick her up at 7 o'clock. We used to go to Bay Ridge Shore Road, and for about an hour, get out of breath running. No, we were running, that's how we got out of breath. And she's an excellent percussionist, but now I find out she's also a guitarist. And if we're lucky, we might hear something from her a little bit later on. My good friend, and she's here from Nevada. She's come here from Nevada to be here, so I'm so happy. Gigi. Okay. Not yet. All right, in the 80s, I moved to Bay Ridge. And I'm happy to say that while I traveled and skied and camped and did a lot of that, somebody had to watch my place. And a good friend of mine is here, my next door neighbor for over 25 years. He's one of the nicest people you'd ever meet. Tim O'Dwyer. Speaking of Dickie, in the early 90s, this guy calls up my house, actually calls up my mom, and says, I'd like to speak to Howie. And my mom said, he hasn't been living here for like 13 years. My mother said, who are you? He says, well, he doesn't know me, but I got his name from the Santana fan club. I said, okay. So she said, okay, she got his number, gave it to me, and that's how this friendship started. We did a flea market together for many years, and one time, musically, we both loved the same bands, and we were lucky enough that when we met, the Allman Brothers just recently reunited, and I asked them, when they were doing, one year when the Allman Brothers were doing 18 shows at the Beacon, I asked them, how many shows do you want to go to? He looked at me and said, all 18. I said, I thought he was going to say 2, 3, 4. So he looked at me and he says, you never know when the run's going to end. You got to go to them all. Well, let me tell you, he was as crazy as I was, because I listened to him. And we, for a long time, we had this crazy record of having the most shows at the Beacon. It's my good buddy, Mike Springer. Mike. Allman Brother music. I think Mike introduced me to this next guy, who I think I met, you could correct me, but I think I met him at the Bottom Line at a show many, many years ago. We have since gone to Colorado together. I met his brother back then out there, and he is one of the nicest people I've ever met. Really, warm-hearted. I wish I could see him more often, but it's hard. He's here with his beautiful wife, Krista. I want to say thank you to Mark. And by the way, if I forget to say that you're here with your beautiful wife, please forgive me, because I know I said it on some and I forget to say it on the others, or if so please forgive me if I forget to announce the other person. I know you probably won't, but I just ask for your forgiveness. The third of the Allman Brothers is a friend that we, to this day, we speak at least every week. I'm so happy for that. We go to shows. He comes from a distance, and we go camping. We've done a lot of things. And again, we speak every week at least. He came all the way from Washington D.C., although he took a detour this weekend. I'd like to just make mention. And now also, he's one of the only person I ever met that went to Woodstock and still remembers it. My good buddy, I'm losing my mind here. Jim Scott. So good. Delta Blues. As many of you know, I've been skiing has been a passion of mine for over 35 years. It's allowed me to travel all over the world, literally. Well, one year, as one of the young ladies who came up and spoke before said, in 1995, I went to Vail, Colorado, and there I met someone who I've been very close with ever since. I haven't met too many women that love the blues. She does. Okay, we've gone traveling, skied, camping, concerts. She shares my ups and downs. I'm talking about the Kukin brother herself, Eileen. Well, this next guy's not here, so I'm going to skip him. Okay.
No.
He's not here. He didn't show up even, so I don't want to waste your time with buddies who are not here.
Boo.
Boo, yes. Okay. Well, now we're in the 2000s, in the 2000 period. In 2001,
There you go.
in 2001, I needed a contractor. I needed a roofer, I think it was. I don't remember what it was, but so I had this guy come down. I never met him. He comes down, and I needed to get a price. And well, let me tell you, I never mix business with pleasure. I really don't. Everyone who knows me long enough, I don't mix the two. Well, this is an exception. This guy was not a typical contractor. He very soft-spoken, apologetic, extremely helpful. If he messed up, the next day he'd come back and fix it. We became good friends ever since. He invites Rebecca and I to go with him to Atlantic City quite often. My good friend Parvez. Chavez. All right. Well, in 2005 is when Rebecca and I met, and it's been it's been a great journey ever since. So, come on up here, babe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Will you marry me? On your knees, guy. Not you. Not you.
Oh, will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? What?
Of course.
You heard that? Anyway, through Rebecca, I've met some great people, and I'd like to acknowledge them right now.
Well, how did you meet her?
Well, we met. Tell me when we met. You can tell. I'll let her talk.
Yes.
I used to take care of his mother.
Oh, really?
Oh, the way from
Yeah.
to his son is to his
How
mother.
beautiful.
I guess mom approved, huh?
Anyway, so some of the people that we've met, that I've met, this next two couple have very close with. I think I know we've done a lot of things together, camping, apple picking. I don't know. They were here yesterday. See this room? They were here to help us decorate the room. I thank them very much. They're very dear friends to us. Mike and Perla.
Yeah, they're always
They're right there. Also, speaking of taking care of my mom, I'm so happy she's here. She basically, gave my mom TLC in her last years of her life, and again, I'm very grateful for that. Michelle, thank you. Another friend that I've got to know recently is Vivian. Where are you, Vivian? Okay, Vivian. And I'd also like to make mention of two other people that are new friends that we're getting to know even more, and that is Ruth and Levy. Ruth and Levy. All right, we're just about done. Well, the next guy is what I call my Schnitzel House connection. That's just a place that we go to every month at least, because we want to see this band play. But one of the guys I met there, and we always hang out together, and he's a Ranger fan like me. And by the way, Steve and I went to the only Rangers Stanley Cup victory in our lifetime. I want to make mention of that in 1994. So if you Islander fans, anyway.
Might be the last one though.
Anyway, don't kill the party. I'd like to make mention of Fred Gilbo. All right, now, I got to know these guys right behind me for the last 2 years. Not only are they excellent musicians, but they are good people. What makes them special is their personal touch. 1010 Wins News named them one of the top 5 things to do in New York City. You need to check them out on humankaraoke.com or like them on Facebook. Now, I'm going to introduce the band in a way that would make Bill Graham proud.
All right.
Okay? I've always wanted to do this. Yes. Okay. He plays a difficult passage with great precision. On bass, Marty Bender.
Yes.
Okay, on drums, I'd like you to give it up for Fernando Menendez. All right. Now, the beautiful sounds you've been hearing all day comes from their lead guitarist, Tony Navarro. Let's hear it for the HKE Human Karaoke Experience. All right, now, if we could do this, if we could get just the people I mentioned to come up, and we'll take one big photo, and then I'd like to get the guests of those people to come up and join us as well. So we're going to meet by the bar. Just the guys and gals that I mentioned.
All right, ready?
If I mention your name, come on up.
I think you forgot to mention two people. I think everybody else.
I want to be on the floor. Howie, you gotta mention Marilyn.
You don't mention the Marilyn.